Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to analyze the trend of UPSC Prelims examination with respect to the question that is being asked from the Indian geography. Now Indian geography we know is made up of a lot of different chapters. So today we are going to discuss one of the most important chapters of Indian geography. Why we are calling it the most important? Because if you analyze past 10-15 years of question paper, you will see that highest or at least one of the highest number of questions is being asked from the Indian river system in Indian geography. So we are going to analyze today the kind of question that is being asked from Indian rivers, how you have to prepare Indian rivers for the prelims, and what are the major points that you have to keep in mind during your preparation. So first of all, let us try to analyze that the number of questions that is being asked in the prelims examination from the Indian rivers. So if you look at this particular graph, what we can see from this table that Indian geography, as we can see, G, that is rivers, lakes and lagoons. So from the rivers, lakes and lagoons, overall what we can also call as the water bodies. So from the Indian water bodies between year 2011 to 2023, total number of questions that is being asked is 18. And this 18 questions make up almost 13% of the question that has been asked from the overall geography of India. Apart from that, if you go behind between 1995 to 2020-23, that means if you look at last 28-29 years of question paper, total 44 number of questions have been asked, and here also Indian rivers makes up 10% of the total question that has been asked from the geography this subject in the prelims examination. And that is why in the beginning we have discussed that river system, lakes and some associated water bodies makes up a very important part of your geography preparation. Now let us look at few questions, and in the last we are going to discuss about also how we can prepare for such questions in the prelims examination. So first question we can start from this year itself, the latest prelims examination 2023. The question is asked, Jhelum river passes through Wular Lake. Second option is Krishna river directly feeds into Kolleru Lake. And third question is that the meandering of Gandak river formed a lake that is called as Kanwar Lake. Now, how many statements given above are correct? Now, obviously, if you look at this kind of question is being asked by UPSC in the recent years. For example, from 2021, for the first time, rather than giving one or two only, two or three only, this kind of options, they've started giving this kind of option that how many pairs are actually correct. Now, why UPSC is giving this kind of question? Obviously, because we know that as the examination is progressing every year, 2013 till 2023, 10 years have passed. So already they have asked so many number of questions that people have adequate information about the basic stuffs. So they cannot give such kind of options as they used to give before. They have to make questions slightly harder. And this is the way of making it hard. Because earlier you can use the method of elimination. Even if suppose you know only first is correct, just for example, and second and third, let us say, is incorrect. So you can clearly eliminate 2 and 3 options wherever 2 and 3 options are given. But in this case, you need to know all the 3 options whether they are correct or incorrect. That means now UPSC is testing your knowledge level, your understanding level at a much more higher level. And that is why the preparation cannot be done in the way how it was done 3-4 years back. As the UPSC is evolving, you also have to evolve your preparation style. So obviously, if you talk about this particular question, Jhelum river passes through Wular Lake, this is absolutely correct. And that we can look at from the map of India here, map of Kashmir. This is your Jhelum river, where you have Manaspal Lake. Jhelum river originates somewhere from the Veri Nag Pass in Jammu and Kashmir, and then it flows in northwestward direction, and that you can see from here. The largest freshwater lake of Kashmir, that is Wular Lake. So it meanders around the Wular Lake, passes through it, and then further goes. Similarly, the second question was that Krishna river directly feeds the Kolleru Lake. That is incorrect, because again, if you look at the map here, Krishna river is lying slightly to the south of the Kolleru Lake, while the river water that is entering into Kolleru Lake is 2 rivers. One is the Tammileru river and other is the Budi Meru river. So the second option is incorrect. And third we talk about is the river Gandak forms Kanwar Lake. That is incorrect or correct. So basically, meandering of river means, if you look at the map here, meandering basically refers to a kind of flow pattern where river is not flowing in a straight path, rather it is flowing in this kind of wavy path. or what we can say in a curved path. So many times when the river is flowing in a curved path, sometime what happens, the loop that we can see from here, the loop, the curvature loop of the rivers, they keep on becoming smaller, 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 and thus after a certain time, this loop is simply cut off from the main river. As the loop is cut off from the main river, no fresh water is being supplied to this loop, and that is why a kind of curved kind or crescent type kind of lake is there that forms near the meanders of the river. This kind of lake is called as oxbow lake. And in this respect, the third question is absolutely correct. The third statement is absolutely correct. That is, it is a meandering of Gandak river which forms a Kamar lake. Kamar lake is in the Bihar, the state of India. And why it is important lake? Because it is considered as the largest oxbow lake of not only India but of the entire Asia. Now this is very important point. Oxbow lake is what lake? The lake that is formed due to cutting off the meanders of the river. So third option is correct, second option is incorrect, and the first statement is correct. That means the first and third options are correct here, and that is why the answer will be B. Only two of the options are correct. Again, this is question that was asked in 2022. That means wetland is given on one side and the lake location is given on the other side. So basically you have to map which wetland is lying on which of the lake. So how many pairs? Again, similar kind of options are given. You need to have complete understanding about all the wetlands and on in which state the wetlands are lying. So Hokera, Renuka, Rudrasagar and Sastamkota. Let us look at the map of India. So first of all, if we talk about Hokera wetland, that is lying in Jammu and Kashmir. Now see, basically why these wetlands are asked? There are hundreds and hundreds of wetlands in India. Obviously, you do not have to focus on all the wetlands. What are the major wetlands? Those wetlands or such wetlands which are included in the Ramsar site list of India. Only those wetlands are what you have to focus upon. So first is Hokera wetland. So Hokera wetland is in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. That means first statement is incorrect. Second is Renuka wetland. Renuka wetland, if we talk about, it is lying in the state of Himachal Pradesh. What is the option? Himachal Pradesh. The second option is correct. Third is Rudrasagar lake. Rudrasagar lake, obviously it is located in the state of Northeast India, that is Tripura is the state. So third is also correct. And then Sastamkota lake in Tamil Nadu, that is incorrect. Sastamkota lake is situated in the state of Kerala, as you can see from here. So from this, what we can understand? The option number 1 is incorrect, option number 4 is incorrect. That means second and third is the only correct option here. So B again will be the correct option, where only two pairs are correct here. Now next we talk about is again match the following kind of question that has been asked in the same year 2022, where on one side you have the reservoirs. Reservoirs are basically also due to construction of dams, and the water gets collected before the dam, it is called as a reservoir. So we have reservoirs or dams, and second we have the states. So which of the reservoirs or dams are situated on which of the states of India? As you can see, the pattern of options are same. You need to have complete knowledge and information about which of the reservoir is situated in which of the state. You cannot use the elimination technique, elimination method that people were using 3-4 years back. So how many pairs given above are not correctly matched? Again, see, this kind of silly mistakes are something that happens, especially if you are writing prelims before giving adequate number of mock tests. Sometimes, generally what happens, questions that are being asked is how many pairs are correctly matched. Sometimes they will ask you how many pairs are not correctly matched. So if you are not reading the question properly, you can do the silly mistakes even after knowing the correct or right answer of the question. So make sure that you are writing adequate number of tests, proper number of model tests before attempting the actual prelims examination. Now again, this is very simple question. Ghat Prabha, Telangana, Gandhi Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, Indira Sagar, Andhra Pradesh, and Maithon is in Chhattisgarh. So if you look closely here, basically Ghat Prabha reservoir in Telangana, that is incorrect. It is situated in the state of Karnataka. Second is Gandhi Sagar Dam in the Madhya Pradesh, that is absolutely correct. Gandhi Sagar Dam is built on Chambal River, which passes through the Madhya Pradesh. Third is Indira Sagar Dam in Andhra Pradesh, that is incorrect. Indira Sagar Dam is built over river Narmada, which is one of the most important west flowing rivers of India, and the dam is situated in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And next is Maithon Dam in Chhattisgarh. That is also incorrect. Maithon Dam is situated on Damodar River, and actually this dam is a part of one of the most notable project of India, independent India, that is called as Damodar Valley Corporation, where you have dams such as the Liya Dam, Maithon Dam, Panchit Dam that has been constructed in the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. So this dam is not in Chhattisgarh. That means how many pairs are not correctly matched? We can say first pair is not correctly matched, second pair is not correctly matched, third pair is not correctly matched. So what we can say, and first pair is what we can say is not correctly matched. Second is only correct answer here. So 1, 2, 3. How many pairs are incorrect? C, we can say. Only 3 pairs are what we can call as the incorrect pairs here. So C is the correct option in this case. If you go back to year 2021, the question that was asked is again about the major river system of India. Major river systems become very, very important. When we talk about major river system, we are talking about Himalayan rivers on the north, peninsular rivers in the south. In Himalayan rivers, 3 rivers are there: Indus river system, Ganga river system, Brahmaputra river system. So as per pattern of UPSC questions, these 3 rivers we have to do in much greater detail as compared to other rivers. In peninsular rivers, similarly Godavari, Krishna, Mahanadi and Kaveri, these 4 rivers are what we have to do in much greater extent, in much more detailed manner. And then one west flowing river, that is Narmada river. So if you are able to do these 8 rivers also properly, there is a high probability that questions can be asked out of these 8 rivers. So with reference to the Indus river system of the following rivers, 3 of them pour into one of them, which joins the Indus directly. And among the following, which one is such river that joins Indus direct? Now this was a kind of controversial question, disputed question, because sometimes some institute were saying that correct answer should be Chenab, because Chenab is the largest tributary of Indus, while some institutes were saying that the correct answer should be Satluj, because Satluj is the longest tributary of river Indus. And also if you look at the map here, Indus river basin, we can see this is Indus river. So basically what happens, first you have Jhelum river and then you have the Chenab river. So Jhelum meets Chenab, then the combined water is carried forward, and then you have Ravi river that is meeting this stream. This stream is called as Chenab. Then further Satluj river comes and meets this combined stream that is carrying the water of Jhelum, Chenab and Ravi. Plus Satluj is also carrying water from the Beas river. Beas river is completely located within India. And when finally Satluj river is meeting Chenab, and as you can see from this particular picture, if you look more closely here in this particular map, as you can see this area we are talking about. This is the area where this place is where Chenab and Satluj meets, and then this combined water is carried forward and this stream is meeting Indus. The question actually was asking that what is this stream? Will this be called as Chenab or whether this will be called as Indus? So the logic is simple. If we are talking about river, which river will be considered as the main tributary? Generally the river which is the longest river in terms of length is considered as the main tributary, and thus the correct answer will be D, that is river Satluj. Now what we can deduce from this question for the preparation that we will do for the next prelims examination? Obviously you cannot rely just on remembering and what we can say focusing upon the rote learning as far as it comes, especially when you're talking about the river system of India. What you have to also focus on is the mapping of these rivers, because such kind of question, it is very difficult to remember if you have read somewhere this is in text form. If you have prepared a river system, let us say for one time, if you have remember all the tributaries, if you remember all the sources of the major rivers, whether it is lakes, whether it is glaciers, whether it is tanks, what you should do is in the later stages of your revision, you should try to write these not in the form of text, but try to draw this in the form of maps. When you are revising and you are using maps to draw and to present all the information that you already have studied about, it becomes very easier for you to remember and recall it in the examination, especially when so much stress you are facing, so less time you have in answering all the questions. So that is what I will suggest. Whenever you are preparing or revising river system, do always focus on mapping part. This is very, very critical part, and this is what will save you and will help you in answering the questions correctly. Next question, again same year that was asked, that is with reference to India. Didwana, Kuchaman, Sargol and Khatu are the names of what? Whether these are glaciers, whether these are mangrove, whether these are Ramsar sites, or whether these are the saline lakes. So obviously we have discussed that already before in our class in Indian geography, that these are the major lakes which are situated on the western slope of Aravalli mountain range. Aravalli is a mountain range spanning all the way from Gujarat in the south to Delhi in the north. And while it is passing through Rajasthan, in this area, seasonal streams collect water every now and then. And when the water is getting collected here in the rainy season, next time when dry season comes, the water evaporates. When the water evaporates, the salt particles are left behind, and this leads to development of a lake which can be called as saline lake. So Didwana, Kuchaman, Sargol, Khatu, all these are saline lakes which are also geographically referred as playas. Obviously, they have not given the name of the largest playa or saline lake here. That is what we can call here in the Aravalli range. That is Sambhar Lake, because obviously UPSC know that Sambhar Lake is very well known lake. If they write the name here Sambhar, even if people are not knowing about these lakes, by looking at Sambhar they can simply guess it will be saline lake. So these are some less known lakes, but nonetheless important lakes, saline lakes of Rajasthan. That is why the question has been asked. Next is again the 4 rivers are mentioned here, and you have to talk about which of the rivers flow from the or originate from the Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats, as you know, is the mountain ranges or hill ranges, we can say more precisely, situated in the peninsular part of India, extending all the way from Odisha, passing through Andhra Pradesh, then through Tamil Nadu, and finally meeting the Nilgiri hills of the Western Ghat. So Brahmani, Nagavalli, Suvarnrekha and Vamsadhara, these are the major rivers. So obviously if you look at the map here, clearly we can understand that Suvarnrekha river originates from Chotanagpur Plateau, Brahmani river originates from the Chotanagpur Plateau. So Nagavalli and Vamsadhara. Nagavalli river, this is the basin originating from the Odisha, and then you have the Vamsadhara basin that is also lying here. So both rivers are having a similar kind of origin place. Both originate from the Eastern Ghat region of Odisha, and that is why the correct answer will be 2 and 4 only, that is B. Now why this question was asked? Because Nagavalli and Vamsadhara river are very less known river, we can say. They are not given either in NCERTs or nor in the major textbooks of Indian geography. The reason why question was asked, because government was proposing an interlinking project to connect the Vamsadhara basin with the Nagavalli basin and transfer the surplus water from one river to the other river. And this also led to dispute between the Andhra Pradesh and the state of Odisha. So these two rivers are example of interstate water dispute, and that is why the question was asked. So not only you have to focus on the static part, either from current affairs, class notes or whatever source they are using, you also have to prepare rivers from the perspective of the current affairs. If any place, any river basin is in news, make sure that you read briefly. Briefly means source, the origin places, through which state this river are flowing through, where the river is draining out, what are its major tributaries, and what is the region why the rivers are making the news headline. If you go back to year 2020, again we have a question that is asked from the Central Groundwater Authority, that 36% of India's districts are classified as overexploited. CGWA was formed under the Environment Protection Act, that is correct. India has the largest area under groundwater irrigation in the world, that is also correct. The incorrect point here is this. If you look at the overexploited, this area makes only 16% of total district. So first statement itself is incorrect. That means A and D you can eliminate. The correct answer will be B, that is 2 and 3 only. Again, next question is 2019. What is common to the places known as Aliyar, Ishapur and Kangasbati? Again, this is a question that is not given in any book. This question is completely a current affairs oriented question. So why these places are asked? Because these places were in news. The article was published in both Times of India as well as in the Hindu, where these are nothing but water reservoirs in the state of Maharashtra. Then again, similar kind of question that we have discussed before. Match the following is one of the most commonly asked question in the river system, where one side you have the name of rivers will be given, other side it can be the name of glaciers, it can be the name of the cities situated, it can be the names of the dams located, It can be the names of the national park, biosphere reserves, or any other kind of protected areas that is located. That is one of the major these themes that we have seen in the previous year questions here. So famous, now this time they have asked about cities: Pandharpur, Chandrabhaga, Tiruchirappalli, Kaveri, Hampi, that is Malprabha. So how many of these pairs are correctly matched? So if you look at closely here, Pandharpur, Chandrabhaga, that is correct. Tiruchirappalli, obviously from the Tiruchirappalli itself in Tamil Nadu, Kaveri river starts its delta formation. So second is correct. Hampi is not situated on the bank of Malprabha river. So 3 is incorrect basically. So correct answer will be A, 1 and 2 only. As we have discussed, same kind of question. So basically what you have to understand from here is that, especially when talking about the major rivers of India, you should read them in more details, and origin point, confluence points, tributaries, draining points, all these things should be very, very clear to you. Now they have asked here again, glacier on one side and the rivers on the other side. So Bandar Punch Glacier, Yamuna river, that is absolutely correct. It is actually the Yamunotri Glacier where the Bandar Punch peak, that is monkey's tail pink peak, is there, that is situated from where we have the origin of river Yamuna. Bara Shigri Glacier, Chenab river, that is also correct. Milam Glacier, Mandakini river, that is incorrect. Milam Glacier is situated in Nepal Himalayas, and the Sarada river, which is also called as Kali Ganga river. So Sarda or Kali river, which in UP is also called as Saryu river, actually originate from Milan. Mandakini river originate from the glacier in the Uttarakhand Himalaya. It is well-known pilgrimage places also, that is Kedarnath. Same, we have Siachen Glacier, Nubra. So Siachen Nubra is correct. Nubra river originate from the Siachen Glacier. Two rivers are there. One is Nubra river and one other river is there. So both river originate from the Siachen Glacier. Now see, from this, if you try to understand, many times you also have to, when you are preparing for the next year prelims, and if you are going to the previous year questions, do not just be content by knowing that yes, you know the answer of this particular question. What you have to go through is the option itself. For example, this time they have given this question in the form of match the following. In next year, they have asked the question that where is Siachen Glacier situated? And one of the options was, it was situated to the north of Nubra Valley. So obviously, if you have studied this question, you can easily answer the question that was asked in the next year. So that is why I am saying that just do not be content and focus on knowing the answers and just be content that yes, you have solved this answer correctly. Go through the options also, read about the rivers and some places that are given in the options of previous year questions as well. That is how you can fill the gaps in overall preparation of the Indian river system. So Siachen Nubra, that is correct. And Jemu Glacier is the source of river Manas. That is also what I can say is incorrect, because Jemu is the source of what we can call as the Tista river. So correct answer will be, the first is correct. So we'll have 1, then second is correct, 2, and then we have the third is correct. So fourth is correct. So 1, 2 and 4. So A is the correct option here. The answer number, the option number 3 and option number 5 are not correctly matched. Again, this is very factual question. Now, this is example of question which you cannot prepare beforehand. This question is something that you can only answer if you have somewhere read or heard about this. Otherwise, there is no way how you can prepare this question. Which of the following is an artificial lake? So, Kodaikanal, Kolleru, Nainital and Renuka. Name of the states are also given here. So, basically, the correct answer here is Kodaikanal, that is Tamil Nadu. Now, this is very difficult because even if you are preparing the wetlands, you cannot go into so much details. Just remembering the names of the wetlands and which states they are situated is more than enough. So these are such kind of questions which you do not know, it's okay. A lot of people will not be able to answer such kind of questions, and your job is not to get 100 out of 100, correct 100 out of 100 questions. Your job is to be ahead of all other competitors, all other aspirants. Next is Tista river, a very, very important river with, due to which we also have dispute between India and Bangladesh, and this river is tributary of Brahmaputra river. So consider the following statement, which of these are correct one. The source of river Tista is same as that of Brahmaputra, but it flows through Sikkim. That is incorrect. Tista river originates from Jemu Glacier, as we have discussed, while Brahmaputra river originates from the NC Glacier. also called as Chemayugnu Glacier from the Tibet Himalayas. So first statement itself is incorrect. Second is, we talk about river Rangit originates in Sikkim and it is a tributary of river Tista. That is correct. River Tista flows into Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. This is incorrect. Now again, this statement, very good question UPSC has asked. This statement is nowhere mentioned, no matter how much books or study materials you read. This is something you can only know if you have properly looked at the map of rivers, river Brahmaputra and its tributaries. And thus, if you look at the map of river Brahmaputra and its tributaries, what you will see here, we talk about. This is river Tista, this is Brahmaputra. So basically, Tista river and Brahmaputra river, both these rivers goes into Bangladesh, and it is in Bangladesh where Tista river meets the Brahmaputra. That means the Tista river is not flowing at the border of India and Bangladesh. Rather, it is flowing somewhere through the middle part of the Bangladesh. So that is why the third statement that is given there is incorrect statement. So first is incorrect, third is incorrect. That means the only correct possibility is B, that is 2 only. Again, this is a question which is a very good example of what I said earlier. You cannot ignore and neglect atlas or map while preparing for the prelims examination, especially Indian geography, and in that also specifically for the Indian river system. And again, Brahmaputra river, very, very important rivers, one of the major rivers of India, major Himalayan rivers. So question is directly asked that which of the following is or are tributaries of Brahmaputra? Dibang river, Kameng river and Lohit river. So again, this is something that is very easy because this we have discussed in class as well. It is given in NCERT also. So Kameng river, this is also called as Boreli river. So Dibang is tributary, Boreli river is tributary, Lohit river is tributary. So correct answer will be D. All the three rivers are tributary of river Brahmaputra. And as you can see from here, Dibang and Lohit meets Brahmaputra in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, and after meeting in Sadia, river flows through this plain of Assam, and from Sadia to Dhubri is the overall Assam plain, or also called as Brahmaputra plain, while river Jia Boreli or Boreli river, Kameng river meets it somewhere in the state of Assam. Then 2015 question is very simple, straightforward. Again, what we have discussed, major rivers is what we have to focus upon. So simple, straightforward question: which of the following are tributaries of Godavari? Actually, we have this was in 2015. In 2017 or 18 prelims, they asked same kind of question, but the question was simply changed that which of the given are not the tributaries of Godavari. Now, that is why previous year questions become very, very important pillar for your preparation of the prelims examination, and that is why I said you that answers are something that you also have to prepare in depth. So Vamsadhara, Indravati, Pranhita and Pennar. Which of these are tributaries? So obviously Pennar is an independent river that flows through Karnataka and further through Andhra Pradesh. That is incorrect. Pranhita is the tributary. Actually, three rivers are there. One is Penganga, second is Wardha, and third is Vainganga. And when these three rivers join together, the common stream is called as Pranhita. And then this Pranhita river is finally meeting with river Godavari. So Pranhita obviously is tributary of Godavari. That means, now see, earlier why it was easier? Because if you know that Pennar is an independent river originating from the Nandi hills of Bangalore flowing through the Andhra Pradesh, you can simply eliminate that B cannot be option, C cannot be option. Only possibility is 1, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. Now Vamsadhara is again a separate river. It is flowing in the state of Odisha. It is not a tributary. So Indravati and Pranhita, 2 and 2, 3, these are the only tributaries. Correct answer will be D, 2 and 3 only. Then again, now you can see the pattern. Consider the following river, which of the above flows through Arunachal Pradesh. Now obviously, if you have prepared about river Brahmaputra, which is one of the major rivers in details, you will know about all the main tributaries of river Brahmaputra. And if you have gone through the map of Brahmaputra river, you will know that this is Arunachal Pradesh, the entire upper part. Brahmaputra river comes from here, then flows like this. So obviously Barak river, Lohit river and Subansiri river. You know that Lohit river, we have just discussed in previous map, is meeting Brahmaputra in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Subansiri river also meets Brahmaputra in the state of Assam, originating from Tibet, passing through the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And Barak river is independent river. This is not a tributary of Brahmaputra. This river is very, very important river in Manipur and Mizoram. Now this is something that is given in the NCERT class 11th also, that Barak is a major river of Manipur and Mizoram. And as we know that Brahmaputra does not flow through Manipur and Mizoram, from that also if you use your logic, you can eliminate 1. So correct answer will be 2 and 3 only, that is B. If you look at the map here, this is how we can understand. This is river Brahmaputra flowing through the state of Assam. Near Dhubri, it enters into Bangladesh. And Barak river, while flowing through the state of Manipur and Mizoram, this river enters into Bangladesh, where it is known by the name of Surma river, and one of the stream is called as Kushiara river. And further, Surma river, Kushiara river join together to form Meghna river, and then Meghna river joins the river Brahmaputra. The Brahmaputra river is also known by name of Jamuna in Bangladesh, and then it meets the Ganga, which is called as Padma in Bangladesh. So Barak river, Jamuna river, Ganga, that is Padma river, these are meeting together to form Sundarban part of delta in the Bangladesh. And in West Bengal, as we know, we have the Hooghly river, one of the branches of Ganga flowing in West Bengal. So collectively, this entire stretch is what we can call as the largest delta of the world, that is Sundarban delta. The 2013 question, if you look again, the major west flowing rivers has been asked, that is Narmada river, that is flowing to west, while most other large peninsular rivers flow to west. What is the correct answer? Now this is very interesting question actually, because if you look these statements in itself, all these statements are correct, okay, except the second one we talk about. It occupies a linear rift valley, that is correct. It flows between the Vindhyas and Satpura, that is the correct region. The land slopes to the west from central India, that is incorrect, because the entire Indian landmass is tilted toward east. That is why 90% of river water of India are flowing to the east rather than west. So the correct answer obviously will be first one, because we have a rift valley. What is rift valley? You have a mountain like this, Vindhya, and then you have like this, Satpura. So this is Vindhya, this is Satpura. Between these mountain range, you have a valley that is called as Rift Valley, and the Narmada river is occupying this Rift Valley, and it flows through this Rift Valley from east to west, because that is the direction of the linear Rift Valley. So correct answer will be A. If you look at closely here from this map also, you have Bundelkhand Craton, that is Vindhya range here, Satpura range here, Narmada Rift and Tapi Rift. 2 rifts we have, plus Kutch Rift we have, and this is the Cambay Rift. Rift is something that we have discussed in class in the physical geography. It forms due to the continental divergence most of the cases, or due to the tensile forces acting over a landmass, or compressive forces acting over landmass, that causes a central part of landmass either to get subsides, or either it subsides, subducts, or it gets uplifted. In any case, you have formation of 2 mountain-like structure on the sides and 1 depressed valley-like structure. The last question that we can talk about, again a very quick question that was asked, is the 2 important rivers, one with its source in Jharkhand and known by a different name in Odisha, and another with its source in Odisha, merge at a place only at short distance from the coast of Bay of Bengal before flowing into the sea. This is an important site of wildlife and biodiversity and a protected area. This is again, though it looks like it is a river question, it is also a map based question, because such kind of information you cannot get from any textbook. It is not written anywhere. This is something you will only able to relate and will only able to understand if you have gone through the map of India in very detailed manner. So correct answer here obviously is Bhitarkanika river. The river that we are talking about is Koyal river. In Jharkhand, the river is called as Koyal river. Then it meets with another river, that is Sankh river. And after this, the river is known by the name of Brahmani river in Odisha. And then it is along the bank of this river, you have the mangrove or protected area that we have that has developed, that is Bhitarkarnika protected areas. Last question that we can talk about is the Brahmaputra river. Brahmaputra river, then we have Irrawaddy river in Myanmar, Mekong river in Southeast Asia. They originate in Tibet, narrow and parallel mountain ranges in their upper reaches. Now out of these 3 rivers, only Brahmaputra river is the one that makes a U-turn while it flowing through the course. So actually, if you look at the Brahmaputra river, it flows like this from west to east in Tibet. Then it turns, takes a U-turn. This U-turn, it takes near the peak that is called as Namcha Barwa. And from these peaks, then the river is taking U-turn, flowing through the state of Arunachal Pradesh, state of Assam, and finally taking a 90-degree turn and going into Bangladesh. Now, what is the reason behind that? Now, this is why you have to understand that NCERT is not something that can help you completely in preparation of the Indian geography or river system. NCERT is a base. Why we are calling it as a base? Because whatever is given in NCERT, that should serve as a anchor for you that about these things you have to study about. However, more detailed in-depth study is required if you want to solve the prelims question. Because if you look at the class 11th NCERTs where Indian rivers are discussed in details, they have just written this statement that Brahmaputra river takes a U-turn when entering into India. Why does it take a U-turn? That is something which is not mentioned in the book. That means you are expected to do a little digging, or especially if you are taking the classes, we have discussed this in every class when we talk about Himalayan rivers. We discuss about this fact that the reason why it takes U-turn is because Himalaya is not a straight mountain. The structure of Himalaya is something like this. That means it has bend. One is bend in the western side, which is called as West Syntaxial bend. This is near the Nanga Parvat peak in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And one bend is near Namcha Barwa peak that we have discussed here in Arunachal Pradesh. And this bend is called as Eastern Syntaxial bend. So the reason why Brahmaputra river takes U-turn is because of the syntaxial bending of geologically young Himalayas. And as the mountain system curves, the river itself has no other option but to curve along with it. And that is the answer, correct answer. So B is the correct answer. So these are some of the major questions that has been asked from the Indian river system in last 10 years. So from this discussion, what we can conclude? First, we can try to understand that how can we prepare about the river system. So first thing, what should be the base material or a main course material for the study of river system? Obviously, as we have discussed, NCERT is one of the major pillars, especially class 11th Indian geography we are talking about. But this is something that you cannot rely for your preparation. This is just a pillar which will strengthen your base, strengthen your foundation. Once you are done with NCERTs, if you have been attending classes, then you will have class notes. Most of the questions that we have discussed that has been asked in prelims, it can be solved if you are very attentive in classes and if you are revising the class notes, whatever we discussed in detailed manner, plus you are supplementing this with the atlas where you are also focusing upon the mapping, not only reading about the tributaries of the rivers, not only reading about the sources of the rivers, but also understanding the flow pattern of the river, how the river is flowing, what are the tributaries, where they are meeting. Okay, these are the point that you have to keep in mind. So NCERT class 11 class notes plus atlas for mapping. Apart from that, what you have to do, how to streamline your preparation. So you have to focus as per the trend of UPSC, not on the small rivers, but the major river systems. So focus on the major river systems and do it thoroughly. When you talk about major river system, we have discussed before, Ganga river. We are talking about not a single river, but river system. Keep in mind, when we say river system, it means Ganga river along with all of its tributaries. So we have Ganga river system, Indus river system, Brahmaputra river system. Apart from that, in peninsular India, we have Mahanadi, we have Godavari, we have Krishna, we have Kaveri, and one west flowing river, two west flowing rivers actually we can write here, Narmada river and Tapi. So these are the major rivers of India. About them you have to study in depth. That means you have to be very clear about the states through which these rivers are flowing through, the sources from where these rivers originate, the major tributaries of these particular rivers, and the places, important places, whether it is cities, whether it is the important geographical areas, whether it is the cultural centers, temples, or whether it is a national park or biosphere reserves or any kind of protected areas. That is what you can do. You can actually prepare a table where you can make the table rivers and all the major places situated on this rivers, plus mapping obviously. So if you are able to do so, at least if 2-3 questions are being asked in the examination, at least 2 questions out of 3 questions will be on the major river system. That is very high, very likely chance. Then from few questions what we have deduced, that many times they are not asking about randomly about any what we can say less known river. They are asking less known rivers only if it is in news. For example, if some new dams are being constructed, if river interlinking projects have been announced. Like example, 2 rivers are there, Ken River, Betwa River. Why they are in news? Because we have Ken Betwa River interlinking project. Very recently, 2 weeks ago, we have another project that was in news, that is Parvati River, Ken River and Chambal River. Why this was new? Because government is trying to Parvati River, Kali Sindh River and Chambal River. Why this is news? Because government is again trying to interlink these rivers, and thus Rajasthan government and the Madhya Pradesh government have signed a memorandum of understanding regarding that. So obviously next year question can be asked that Kali Sindh River is tributary of which of the following rivers, or Parvati River flows through which of the given states, or Chambal River is which of the dams are situated on the Chambal River. So these are something that you have to keep in mind. For that you have to refer to newspapers, or you can refer to current affairs compilation modules, or you can attend the current affairs classes that is being run continuously. So this will be taking care of your current affairs and linkage of the basics to the current affairs. Next point is obviously this is largely factual kind of paper, factual kind of topic we can say. Indian rivers, though some of the points are there which are conceptual in nature, for example the flow pattern of the rivers, or overall the flow drainage pattern of the rivers, but mostly in Indian rivers especially, it is lot of facts that you have to remember. And the only way how you will be able to remember these facts for long duration, at least till prelims examination we can say, is by revising and revising. And as I told you, in the later phase of revising, not just read and focus on rote learning, try to draw maps and diagrams to make it more interactive, to make it more easier for you to remember this. For example, in one single map of India, you can draw and present all the major rivers of India, and thus just one night before prelims examination. Now suppose if you have made a notes on Indian river system, 10-page notes are there. It is very difficult for you to revise that. But if you have just made a note of Indian rivers in 1 or 2 maps, you will just take one glance and you will see the highlighted parts that you are forgetting all the times. So it will make your revision much more easier, and also the time that you will take for revision will be much more lesser. So focus on mapping while doing the last phase of revision or the later phase of revision. And last, obviously, refer to the previous questions, solve it, and also prepare options that are given there as well. Because UPSC many times is asking questions based on the options that were given in the previous years, even when those options were not relevant or not correct answer for the earlier questions. So that is why understanding of the options and preparation is very important. Thus, to conclude, what should be your focus area for rivers? As per the previous year questions, 3 themes are there from where most of questions is being asked. First, obviously they are asking about the source of rivers. So you have to have a table like this. For example, you can write rivers. Told you 8 major rivers are there, write their name: Ganga, Brahmaputra, Indus. What you can do here? You can write the sources. What can be the sources? Name of glaciers, name of the peaks, name of the lakes, whatever is the source. Second is what? Second most important. They are asking also about repeatedly tributaries of the main rivers. So make sure you're writing tributaries. And in class we have discussed tributary you can classify in 2 types: left bank tributary and right bank tributary. So write down the names of all the major left bank and right bank tributary of the major rivers. That should be the second theme area. And third, important places such as cities, such as temples, such as cultural centers, dams or reservoirs that is built on the particular river, and any kind of protected areas that is situated, or any such kind of information. For example, you can also add here what? The passes. What are the major passes through which the river is flowing along the mountain? In Himalayan rivers, you can also add the name of valleys through which the river is flowing through, the name of the gorge or canyon that a river might be building up. So this should be making up the third part of your table. Once you are done with that, you will have a concise table, comprehensive table that will discuss about all the major rivers of India and these three themes. Once you are done with that, make sure that you are presenting the same tabular information on 1, 2 or 3 maps of India. Later on you can by your own comfort try to arrange them into a single map also. But even if 2, 3 maps are there, that is more than enough. You can take one glance, you will be able to revise it properly. If you are able to do so, I can guarantee you that I am not saying, or anyone cannot say, that all the questions that will be asked in reverse you will be able to do it correctly. What will happen is that if 99% of people are doing that question, you will not be able to skip that question. You are also able to do that question. And most of the time, if you are able to take care of these three things, you will be able to solve most of the question that is being asked from the reverse system of India as per the current examination pattern or question. So I hope you understood about the nature of question that is being asked from the Indian river system. That is all for this particular topic. We'll come again soon with another interesting topic from Indian geography. We'll try to analyze what kind of questions is being asked and what is the correct strategy for preparation of that particular topic for the next prelims examination. Thank you very much.